Hi there, my name's Luke, and on today's exploration of how to improvise, I'm going to talk about the concept of angel holding human. And so this is an idea that came to me. I was doing a spiritual practice and often find this tension behind my heart. You know, when I'm playing music, when I'm doing all kinds of stuff, I'll feel a tension behind my heart. And in this spiritual practice, I started to have some space in that belief that it was like, self-doubt or whatever it was. And I thought, well, maybe these are wings that I'm feeling back there. And when I just introduced that idea that this could be not just something positive, but like a responsibility, having wings. Oh, what does that say about what I'm connected to and what I'm here to do? Okay, there's an expansiveness there. And I was doing this practice outside, and a part of me was like, that's crazy. Like, what are you saying? You're like an angel or something like that? That's ridiculous, and that made it hurt again. And then just having that idea, I've got wings, felt expansive. And as I'm feeling into this new possibility, somebody walked past me, and I turned and looked, and on her back she had her t-shirt had the image of big golden wings, right where my wings would be. And it felt like, okay, that's a confirmation from outside that this is not just like some megalomaniac ego trip here, but that there's an opportunity here. So I did this improvisation the next day. This is my 7th Facebook live stream, and the intention was be held by an angel, and be an angel holding a guy playing guitar. So for any musicians out there, I'm drawing my chords from the 5th mode of the harmonic minor scale. Phrygian major scale. Got a flat 2, flat 6, flat 7, but also has a major 3rd. So bringing in this consciousness of being both a human, exploring this cool mode that I haven't spent a lot of time playing in, and tuning into my wings, being the angel who's holding this human exploring, being both of those things. It's like in meditation, they talk about having witness consciousness. So you're seeing your thoughts and that kind of things, and you're knowing that you're not necessarily all those thoughts, because you can come back and see them, see the emotions rising and falling based on the thoughts, all of that. So that was my practice in this playing here, to be both the human exploring and the angel holding the exploration. So in there, if you've watched any other of my videos, you know that I'm using these to learn about it myself, almost like I had a session with a wise teacher this morning, somebody that I've been working with now for 9 years. You know, when I'm particularly stuck, I'll call her up and we'll have a session. And to me, she's just like dropping such heavy wisdom on me. And at the end of the call, she said, and she often says stuff like this, thank you. You know, I learn about this by observing you and offering you feedback. And she said, all great teachers, that's what they're doing. They're always in that process themselves. And that's my sense of how I'm engaging this. I'm watching and I'm learning. And so a couple things happened there. One was I can see myself bringing in stuff from my practice. One thing is I'd been practicing, instead of just moving in groups of 4 all the time, that kind of thing, I have been practicing moving in groups of 5. 5, 6, varying it up a little bit. So there I go into a time of trying to work some of those out. And then I land somewhere and it's like I can hear myself shift back into witnessing, where I'm shifting from trying something to experiencing something. So here I'm, running around, really exploring still the possibilities of this scale. I know, not this guy, but me now, that something really beautiful happens soon. And part of it was from sort of exhausting my options, running around that scale, looking up at the screen, kind of looking for some more stimulus, because those sounds, it's like, yeah, they're kind of fresh. I haven't played here very much. And there's something more alive possible in improvisation that I know about, and I'm just not sure what it is. There it is. So there was I remember while I was playing this, a definite moment of becoming aware that I was sort of searching for something, and then remembering, oh yeah, angel holding human. So make contact with that angel. This repetitive note feeling the the words that are coming are like the sacredness, the immensity, the power, like the multi, say multi-dimensional, like sound going from this to going to be this holographic image where there's a lot more going on, moving into a perception of that. So there's this moment, and I'll rewind it because when I started doing these videos, it was like, this is the video that I want to get to. This is the one I want to talk about because I remember something really special happening there. And I remember talking to a friend afterwards and saying, when I was watching it back, that moment that we just watched was like, yes, that's the guy. That's who I'm here to be. There's another depth there. There's something truer about who I am being revealed here. So I'm gonna rewind it, let it play from a bit further back. Let's see if we can notice that movement into that place. So as I'm watching it, a couple things are coming to mind. One is, for me, it's like the music moves from being kind of surface and interesting to being like expansive, and this is the part where it gets harder to put it into words. Powerful is the word that comes to me, where one note starts to have more power, and it's like that to me is the spiritual reality coming in, joining the material reality, which is the notes and the guitar and the loop and all that kind of stuff, and then it's being infused with flavor. I don't want to cop out and say this is a hard thing to describe. I want to use this opportunity to try and describe it. As it progresses, it's like I hear that balance, the human more focused on the material stuff. I did that run made up of fourths, which is kind of the hip little run. That kind of thing. it's like that balance of now bringing forward something material, and then leaning back and infusing it with spirit again. And those things, my sense is they can rise together, but it's this kind of like dance of balance. I'm remembering Stephen Nachmanovich being interviewed on the One You Feed podcast, which I've talked about before. Stephen Nachmanovich, anyone who's studied improv knows of him because he wrote this book called Free Play. And he talks about that balance. I forget how he describes it, but there's like the enjoyment and the feeling it in your full body that comes naturally to children and that kind of things when they're engaging in something. And then they are usually encouraged to go and learn the history and the forms, and I'm thinking of visual art, like learn colors and that kind of thing, or in music they learn their scales and their technique and all that. And usually that happens, they go over here and they lose this ability to receive it and be in awe of it and be immersed in the spirituality of it, like the living wow of what they're engaging in, and become more focused on what they're doing and thinking they're the ones who need to create those things. And it's this, I'm really hearing it in this. It's like this balance of those two. Like if I played that one note that first kind of opened up and amplified the spirit for the whole 5 minutes, who knows? I was going to say, that wouldn't be super interesting. And I think that's a balance too. Like I know when I was living at a yoga ashram in my early 20s, I had no tape deck or CD player, MP3 player, whatever. It was a tape deck in those days. So I hadn't heard any recorded music in, months and months. And I remember when I first heard some recorded music, it just like totally blew me away. Like the spirit had been turned up so much that it was so rich and incredible. And so I'm saying this to say, yeah, maybe if I did play one note for 5 minutes, and I was really attuned, I hadn't been listening to a lot of other things, and I was really attuned to silence, let's say, that would probably blow my mind. It'd be incredible. But coming from sort of the busy world, YouTube, music on, streaming in on Spotify and Apple Music, yeah, this more variety needed to strike that balance, keep a certain part of me entertained while another part of me can receive a bigger imprint. usual. So something in that I'm aware of in that angel holding human is like permission to be in, well, the word that comes to mind is rapture. It's kind of a spiritual word, but to be in that, it's kind of a dramatic word really, but to really be in the savoring of the experience in the present moment. And that's a beautiful, beautiful gift. I feel like that's where the power is, when the focus becomes so much on the material, on the technique, on the scale, on the 5-note runs, then in that material place, it's like comes with that, where does love come from? Well, it comes from other people's approval. Where does, that sort of linear, I don't know if linear is the right word, but it's like a material as opposed to the spiritual that feels, where does love come from? Oh, right here. Right here is by deepening into this experience and opening this up even more, and is not as concerned with the images. Like, I love watching my face there because it's like none of those are faces that I would make if I was concerned about how people were seeing me. Those are faces that are a response to my the impact that the music is having on me. So I'm going to leave that there for this week. How to improvise spirit and material together, angel holding human, with some hand gestures so that kids in kindergarten can start to incorporate these ideologies. And the angel holds the human, and I can learn technique and savor the experience at the same time. Where does love come from? Does it come from you and you? And I'm not enough because you're not giving me what I need? Or does it come from the angel that lives on my back and that I'm responsible for? Dee-dee. Who knows? Could be a part of the curriculum. We'll see. We'll see. School, spreading the good. Oh, don't get me going about school. Okay. That's all for now.